is a special edition of Box News. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of CivEx. I am Worm Wizard with a special report from inside Confederate States of Colombia. Yesterday, on May 28th, Hamboy Jr., a diplomat for Colombia, received word from Half-Blood Wolf that there was a group of people living on Colombian land living off of this island to the northwest of the mainland. Hamboy Jr. asked them to please scout out for Colombia and see what the situation is. The scouts arrived to the island to discover that there were people settled there, and this is what they found. The group that was on the island is known as Leyland CoOp, and they claimed they have been there for a week or so. As you can see, this led to confusion because this land was claimed by Colombia, but yet occupied by an outside party. Leyland claimed that she was raided by people of Kairos and made a bounty on them while they were searching. Here is her statement in regards to that. Just today, a couple of hours ago, my partner, Deals and Drip, logged online and saw Half-Blood Wolf and Co. breaking into the storage infrastructure as he was walking around. He quickly stashed away all our valuables and immediately alerted me, the leader of our group. I then went to make the bounty post. They weren't given permission to raid me by Colombia, they were only giving me permission to scout the area. The bounty would stay on all of them, barring Cows Go Nay, if I had not made the compromise with Colombia. Cows Go Nay is a part of Kairos but seems level-headed and only went to the scene of the crime a few short hours after the incident had already occurred. I want to make a public apology to him for vigorously interrogating him in-game. Here is a response from Cows Go Nay in regards to the accusation on raiding and his role. My good friend, Hamboy of Colombia, had reached out to me one night about an illegal base settled in Colombian lands on their southernmost island. Being that I was much closer than they were, I was asked to scout the area as a favor, and so I did. Coined this little base, a farm, a house, some chests. I looked around, reported what I saw, and went home. I woke up the next morning to find a bounty on my head on Reddit. I was quite surprised, especially when the poster claimed that I raided their base. Their reasoning was that their jukes had shown that I had walked across their territory approximately 5 hours after a raid was made by Olympian citizens. Supposedly, this meant I must have been an accomplice. As a result, 16 diamonds were offered for my head. I thought I would have been worth at least 20, to be honest. Shocked, I contacted Leyland about the situation and explained that I had nothing to do with her being raided. She was defensive, but I eventually proved my innocence. The bounty was revoked, Leyland apologized, and we all lived happily ever after. In regards to the two other people with bounties on their heads, they were not from Kairos. I've hired them as builders in the past. Their continued employment after recent events is undecided. So Maria Me and Half-Blood Wolf, who were on the bounty list, were not from Kairos. Where are they from then? Well, Box News was able to prove that Maria Me was from Olympia, as you can see by their residence. We were able to prove that Half-Blood Wolf is a citizen of Olympia also from this post a few days ago. There has been a conclusion reached on this issue. Leyland CoOp can stay at the home they built as long as they become Colombian citizens and they drop the bounties on Kairos. Here is what Leyland had to say about the conclusion to the situation. I'm neutral, leaning on happy. Obviously, I would have preferred to be left alone and not have to deal with foreign powers, but it had to be done. I've been talking to Colombian citizens and they seem quite nice. I'm interested to see what the future will hold. As we were able to show, Kairos is innocent in the controversial raiding. On the other hand, individuals of Olympia were responsible. Here was Maria Me's statement on the issue. I've known about the island that Leyland was living on since I first joined Olympia 2 weeks back. I knew they were living on Colombian land without permission, but I decided that there was no need for me to get involved. About a week and a half later, I noticed her and Deals and Drip hadn't been on for several days. Then yesterday we assumed that the land was most likely abandoned as nothing had changed. Us Olympians decided it would be best to check out the area and see what was around. One of our guys discovered their vault, which was not well hidden. There was a hole on top of the vault and Cirrus jumped in. Me and Half-Blood discovered that the area had an abundant amount of diamonds, even though we weren't in the ice plains, which surprised us. I had to log off after a little mining, and a couple minutes later, Deals and Drip came on, threatening to pearl Cirrus and Half-Blood. Don't blame them for saying he'd pearl, but I believe a simple conversation could have saved all the trouble. He then took the diamonds we'd mined from our chests and logged off. I came on several hours later to discover that what had happened. I left the island and assumed nothing would happen. The next day I discovered we had a bounty on our heads. I believe 16 diamonds was a little too much for a small misunderstanding, and was more surprised that Cow's Gonay had a bounty, as he hadn't been with us when he had been at the island. And the fact that he's not even in Olympia, he's from Kairos, to the south of us. I hope we can live peacefully with Leyland and Deals and Drip in the future, and they can work out their issues with Columbia so that a deal that benefits both parties can be found. If I'd known the land was still being used, we wouldn't have even stepped foot on the island. Now the problem here is that even if Leyland CoOp went inactive, they still would have went exploring and mining on Colombian territory. Cynthius, founder of Olympia, had the following to say in regards to the accused raiding. Olympia does not condone that kind of action, and they should make amends to the person. I will try to talk to them. If there is an issue, I will explain that if a bounty is put on them, people are free to pass through Olympia to look for them, but I would like to talk to them first. Leyland CoOp is satisfied with how it turned out, and Columbia is satisfied this was able to be handled in a peaceful manner. Before we go, I have something exciting to announce for Box News on CivEx. In Colombia's new capital, District of Columbia, Box is excited to announce we are building a brand new theater/studio. As you can see, it will be huge, accommodate for large crowds, and be able to host my show for special interviews and the likes. We plan to use the theater for not only nation events, but server-wide events, and even if your nation wanted to rent it out. Details will come at a future time. But here is where you come in. We need your help to build it. Hence, we are announcing a Kickstarter CivEx edition. I have a list of materials that we still need to complete this build. Link to the list in the description below. If you or your nation could donate any of these, then it will not only be appreciated, but also rewarded. We will have a special plaque just for you or your nation on our building that everyone can see, and I will personally thank you in a Box News special. The grand prize, though, is for the person or nation that donates the highest value in resources. The winner will be able to rent out the theater for one night for free. This will include staff to accommodate your event and special coverage from Box News. Not only that, any revenue that you make off of selling admission you get for no cost. On the list, there is a form for you to fill out in regards to what you will donate and instructions on how we will receive the materials. Thank you for your consideration. Well, that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make comments on what you think about what we discussed. Until next time, I am Worm Wizard of Box News, and thank you for watching.